Hello, welcome to another video. It's been a couple weeks since we did the endless mile to try to break the world record for the farthest distance running while handcuffed, and we've had a lot going on since then. We recently got married yesterday. We were in Chattanooga for a little mini honeymoon that we have something else planned in a few months, but let's get into the recap of this race. Going into the race, we knew we had to run at least 50 miles handcuffed together. The previous record was apparently 80 kilometers, which is like 49 point something miles. So we knew if we ran 50 miles, we would have it. Now we still have a lot of evidence that we have to provide Guinness. We haven't sent that out yet because, you know, we've had a whole wedding and everything that we've been more focused on. Obviously, it's more of a priority than this world record attempt, but we're gonna get all that together and then we'll have to send that out. Then it'll take them at least 12 weeks to give us a yay or nay on if it's official or not. Do you have anything you want to mention about that?
Just that it's more of a personal achievement than I just don't really care about the Guinness World Record part, right?
Yeah, it's pretty, I mean, it's cool. It
know we did it.
Kind of be cool to have a plaque, but without a doubt, we know we ran 50 miles handcuffed. The people there, the mini runners over there, they saw us the entire time running lap after lap after lap, handcuffed together, and we kept on going, and we did do 50 miles. But again, to have a plaque, I don't even know where my 100-mile buckles are, so I'm not really sentimental about medals or anything. Harrison more so is. She has a mini shrine in the closet of all her medals and stuff, which is awesome. But yeah, I just like just challenging myself or ourselves together in any way, and then that is the medal for me. But you have anything you want to say about that?
Also, as soon as you break a record, someone could come right behind you and break it.
Yeah, so, but the hard thing about Guinness is like you have to provide that evidence. We're not naive. We don't think we're the coolest. I was going to say something else. We don't think we're the greatest. Like, we know plenty of other people could handcuff themselves together and run more than 50 miles, and we have the plan on trying to break our own record, but it's the added issue of providing evidence, the specific evidence, and what they think deems worthy of making it official. And like I said, ours isn't even official yet, so that may not even be good enough for them. But regardless, let's get into this race recap, starting at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, like when we first got there, everybody had tents and personal aid stations set up, so we set up our aid station. We had everything that we needed. We didn't really need
the main things that we learned that we need for ultra runs or races is a tarp, chairs, table, and a canopy, and obviously food and stuff. But we were set with that. We kind of had our own mini aid station set up, and then we relied heavily on the aid station itself at the race. It was only a 1 mile loop, or a little bit less than a 1 mile loop, so we were seeing the aid station every lap. It was different compared to other ultras where you run hours without seeing the next aid station. So that helped us out a lot.
Yeah, it was nice having an aid station there that was providing food for us, hot food ready for us to go. We didn't have to worry about that. So our little personal aid station was just for other things like medical supplies and some
very personal
drinks
things.
that like random drinks we wanted or anything like that. But it was nice to have it so close too if we needed anything. Yeah,
going into the race, we had not practiced running handcuffed once.
Everyone asked us that, and I was like, well, we like practice holding hands.
Yeah, which we were just holding hands the entire time. It made the handcuffs kind of like disappear in our minds. It just made it a whole lot more comfortable. But yeah, we did not do any practice before the race. I mean, with our schedules and how busy we are with work and just life, it's very hard to have time alone to go and run an hour or two handcuffed.
My thought about that was, you know what, at the end of the day, we're gonna do it. Like, I don't think practice is going to change anything. So like, we can run separate, and then as long as we have that little sweatband to protect our wrists, like, it's gonna be uncomfortable. And as long as we run at the same pace, I didn't think it was going to be a problem, which it wasn't. It wasn't a problem at all. The thing that solved it was holding hands.
Yeah, holding hands helped out tremendously. And we just did that the entire time. It was a hotter day, hot late October day in Alabama. You never know what kind of weather you're gonna get here in Alabama. It can be cold one week and then it's back to being.
It was full sun, 80 degrees.
It was
Yeah.
warm, and our hands, holding hands, were really warm starting off. So to combat that, we just started holding ice cubes in our hands.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we held
Ice cubes.
in our hands to keep our hands cooler. I mean, obviously holding ice kind of stung, kind of was a distraction from like what we were doing.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of the race, we really wanted to take it as easy and simple as we could. So again, if you watch the actual video itself, we started off running intervals of running for 3 minutes, walking for 1 minute. And then we did that as long as we could until Harrison or I was like, you know, let's run a little bit less.
Yeah.
And we kept walking 1 minute the entire time. But we pretty much, every time we needed to adjust, we just went down 30 seconds. So it went from 3 minutes to 2.5 minutes
To 2.
to 2 minutes.
We may have stopped at 2, maybe went down to 1.5. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
I think we went down to 1.5 at the last
Yeah.
5 miles. But let's get into like the beginning miles. Like
Right.
it was easy, a lot easier than we thought it was going to be. Those intervals, again, we really made it apparent that we wanted to make it as easy as we could at the beginning. Like time wasn't really an issue for us.
No.
We just knew we had to get 50 miles and you had to record the time for Guinness to send that into them, but we were not concerned about the time whatsoever. And you know, speed is relative. We finished at 12 hours and 34 minutes and so seconds. It was just under 35 minutes, 12 hours and 35 minutes. It was just under that, which I think is really good. But again, speed is relative. That can be really fast for someone and that can be really slow for other people to run 50 miles.
Right.
So, you know, we did not care about time at all. It was all about just getting at least 50 miles
Right.
during the race. And Harrison, she surprises me every time she does an ultra because it's all mental, and that's what she always says.
It's all mental.
It's all mental because she does not get to train as much as she would like to. She doesn't get to log as many miles as she would like to because, you know, life. And I knew going into this, I just wanted to keep Harrison happy. I mentioned that in the video. Like, my main goal is just to keep her happy. Whatever interval she wanted to do, that's what we were gonna do because I knew I was in better shape than she was. And
Right. And the interval thing worked out, but the pace too. So we tried to stay around a 12, maybe 13-minute pace while we were actually running. So, and props to you because you're a bigger guy. You can definitely run faster than me. And it's harder for you to, with those long legs, to go slower. But like, he was able to stay at that pace with me, and that helped me out a lot. Being able to go in that like 12-minute pace range.
yeah, and we were
So-
really good at averaging that. I'll
Yeah,
put
we were really
our
good.
splits for the entire 50 miles or the laps is like 56 or 57 laps.
Right.
Again, the loop was like a little less than 1 mile, so we had to
Right.
do more than 50 laps. I'll put the splits for that on the screen for you guys, and also there's a link in the description of this video. The race director, David, he put out everyone's splits for the entire race, so you can go check out our splits for that race if
Right.
you care about, you know, the little details. But we had some ups and downs. At the beginning, it was hot, so we were trying to conquer that.
It was fine though. That first part of the
We
race
butted
was fine.
heads one time,
Yeah.
and then we got over that.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, everyone knew that was going to happen. Everyone had, not everyone, a few people was like, I could never do that with my wife.
Yeah, it wasn't. I enjoyed it. I had fun with you. I liked spending time.
It was
with you.
fun.
We didn't talk that much. We talked a little bit, but that's the thing. We can just be silent, or we listen to some books, some audio.
We started to listen to some books, and then we switched to audio.
Yeah, like
or
podcasts.
Podcasts. We listened to Sally McRae's podcast,
Yeah.
and that helped out a lot. Just basically, we set the timer on our phone to do the intervals, and then we just went from
Mhm.
there. Like, as soon as we heard the beeps to switch from running to walking or walking to running, we were just
Right.
on autopilot basically, and didn't really talk much. One thing we could have done better with is hydrating. I went to the bathroom once during the 12 hours.
Did I go once or twice?
I think you went
Twice. We had to unhook. We were allowed to, according to Guinness, without making forward progress on the course. We could unhook. We had our timekeeper undo our
And then
handcuffs,
he handcuffed
so I
us
could go to the
again to
bathroom.
verify. He handcuffed us again to verify that we were actually handcuffed.
Yeah, But I only went twice, I think.
Yeah, and I went once, and then I kind of had to go again. But then
We could have done
I'm
that.
thinking I'm handcuffed to someone. I'm not going to mention I have to go to the bathroom because it's going to make her have to go to the
Yeah.
bathroom. So I was very mindful of that. Like the first time I had to go to the bathroom, I went maybe 8 to 10 more laps having to go to the bathroom because I didn't want to mention it because then she would start thinking she had to go. So being handcuffed, it comes with a lot of things. Like obviously we can't do this without each other, especially, I mean, just to do it, but for the world record, she can't start it with me and finish with someone else. I can't start it with her and finish with someone else. Like you're very dependent on who you're running with. If she's having a terrible day or if I'm having a terrible day, we literally have to get each other back up and going to finish the race, to get the world record. And like you have to think about these things, like how to keep them happy, how not to complain so they start complaining in their head or whatever.
Yeah, because when you're alone, you can start getting these negative thoughts, and you can start going down these little rabbit holes in your head, and
you're literally
all these
handcuffed
things.
to someone.
So if you're with someone and you're speaking that aloud, you're speaking that into their brain too. So you have to stay positive for the other person and for yourself. So that was interesting.
And for the most part, like we just kept going. Like even if it was slow, we kept going the entire time. We took like maybe 3 breaks the entire time. One time at the halfway mark, we walked an entire lap just to get our legs back under us and to drink a beer. 2 other times, Harrison needed to stop, and we sat down for 10 minutes each time.
Yeah, I just wanted to put my legs up.
Yeah, she wanted to put her legs up,
lay down,
get the blood flowing.
Yeah,
and like we were doing some ups and downs. Mile 35 to 45, butter.
Yeah, it was easy.
It was butter. Like we again just got on autopilot, didn't really talk much, just listened to the beeps on our phone giving us the intervals. Whenever it told us to walk. Every time it told us to run, we started running, and we were just a well-oiled machine. Miles 35 to 45, and then the last 5 miles were tough.
The last 5 was hard because you're still like
it's a 1 mile or a little less than 1 mile loop. You've already done 50 laps and you're like, another one.
5 miles doesn't seem like much if you're running fast, but doing walk run intervals and going at a slower pace, that's a long time. Was like an hour and a half, 2 hours just to get through that last part.
It was tough, and Harrison was having some trouble. You were feeling fatigued like you did at the heat of the night.
Yeah, feeling dizzy. I have some health issues, so feeling dizzy and lightheaded and things like that just goes along with running for me. It's just something that happens, and so I was having trouble with that. But also being handcuffed for so long on my right side and us not being able to move this arm or hit this arm for him, I felt like I was like slowly like leaning.
Yeah, I think we definitely felt it the next day.
Yeah, like my right hip and my right shoulder and everything was just so stiff from being still so long. And this side was working hard, so. But
we ended up crossing the 50-mile mark at 12 hours and just under 35 minutes, just like I mentioned. And
we were thinking about going further than that.
The game plan was to say we're going for 50 and then try to go for like 100K, which is 12 more miles.
Yeah, and it was really me. I think Hayden definitely could have kept going. It was more me.
I'll say I could have kept going. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
But it was up to Harrison what she wanted to do. And again, she's undertrained.
Right. I wanted to, but let's be honest, I was like undertrained, which is like the story of my life.
Undertrained to go 50.
I was undertrained to go 50.
But you went 50.
It wasn't really a mental thing. It was truly physical.
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling up to that, and I thought, we're probably gonna come back and break our own record anyway, so
that's the game plan.
Let's just stop at 50, almost 51 miles.
Yeah. So the game plan now is just to get our evidence together and the best way that we can. I mean, we follow the guidelines to a T, and we have most, if not all, of the things that they want from us. So we're just going to get that sent out to them. It'll take a few months for them to, again, give us a yay or nay. Right. And then we will let you guys know. So subscribe if you're interested in seeing that. Do you have anything else you want to say?
I don't know.
You don't know? No?
No.
Okay, well, you can check out Harrison's video of the race. I will put
Right.
her link to her channel in the description of the video. Also, the results of the race and the splits in the description of this video. So go check that out if you want to. We'll see you guys in the next one.